Hello, I'm Rick Steiner with Luxe Life Discovered, and this episode is brought to you by Brad Orr Company. And Shannon Richmond with the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce is my co-host today, so welcome back, Shannon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
And our guest today is Andrew Araujo with Kurupt Images. So, Andrew, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you.
All right, good. So, tell us how you came up with the whole concept behind Kurupt Images.
So with the concept, I've always had an interest in art. I've always liked art a lot in my life. And I've always wanted to create something that had meaning behind it. And I've always liked fashion. So I was why not come up with a brand that talks about personal life, personal matters, and use basically my gift, which was art, and I liked cartoon, and create something behind that. So
Okay.
that's where the name came up, Kurupt Images.
All right, and so tell us, what all type clothing do you create?
We have long sleeves, hoodies, shorts, different style t-shirts, different style hoodies, and of course we're trying to push for more denim jackets and just different fashion styles that we can bring into our brand.
Okay, and how's the response? So when you started this, it's less than a year, is that correct? Or
so the idea has been 6 years, but then it's been about a year now that we've actually had the website up and everything.
So how? Before we get into the whole launch and everything, what the vision to actually do this? It's one thing to have the vision, but then to follow through and the commitment and the detail and the work that goes into it. How was that process?
It's been a long journey, but a great journey. I tell people, the experience of something, especially using your own art, and to see other people wearing something that you've created, has been nothing but amazing. Nothing but thankful about it. Definitely interesting when it comes to the business aspect of it. But it's definitely been a long journey, and I never thought to this day that I would be where I'm at when it comes to the company.
Right.
Because I've seen art as more of a therapy for me, and it became something more than just a therapy. It's been a life changer.
Okay.
So let me ask you, on your images, these are all images that you create and you draw them out yourself.
Yes.
They're nothing that you're going to clip art and putting pieces in. You're actually making the image. So can somebody tell you an idea and you draw an image, or are these all yours?
So basically, with the designs, it's I basically go based off my experience, friends' experience. I've seen people go through for example, relationships, people that battle loneliness and all that stuff. So I sort of just in my head I get a concept. So I'm like, all right, let me look up different things of loneliness, or what does it mean to be a certain thing, and then I just basically go and start drawing and putting my ideas together, and then I end up making it my own concept.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, to be able to have a certain thought or emotion and be able to put it into art, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
It sounds like they're emotions.
Yeah,
mostly.
So it's mostly the one thing. That's why I wanted to connect with. I want to connect with people with this brand. I truly feel that.
So when they see that, you hope they feel the way you felt when you were drawing it.
Yes, so it's that passion, the love into it, the art of it. But mostly just being relatable. I think.
Yeah.
I'm very big on having a brand that can connect to people in so many levels. Because I feel that we all do go through life. We all go through problems. We all have situations that we go through. And I was if you can wear something that says oh, I've been through something like that, and coming from just a regular person that created the idea of it, I think it's even more meaningful to wear it and be oh, I've been through something like this,
Oh, so then you opened up a conversation for somebody else to have with somebody. So you're just getting people to interact and talk because of your art.
Yes.
Huh.
That's pretty cool.
I like that. Yeah.
So taking it from the concept to actually putting it on the clothes and stuff, how did you go to find the right, not designer, but supplier for all your...
So that concept was so I did a lot of trial and error type of thing first. So I was in North Carolina when I was in the military. I was in North Carolina. Okay. So I had a friend out there that I would just draw for therapy because, with the military, it was basically long days and stuff. I was just let me just go home, draw something, just relax. They actually, I still talk to this day, and she actually bought me a kit, an art set. And she was hey, I truly believe that you can do something more than just something with therapy. So I ended up, she promised me that you'll fill this book up. And then so I did it. And then when it comes to looking for vendors and stuff or like manufacturers for the brand, it was a lot of trial and error because I wanted just the right pieces. I wanted the quality to be like 100%. I wanted it to be the best of the best. So it was a lot of like putting designs and multiple things and seeing what color, who was better for it. You know, even when it came to the price, I didn't worry about it because it's quality.
Right.
And then it just took years, you know, it took a lot of trial, a lot of years to be like, okay, this is the right person. And then to this day, we actually have 2 vendors, one in New York and one in Pennsylvania.
Ooh,
that
USA.
Okay, USA,
I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so we have them 2 that work with us when it comes to our brand, and we just stay with them.
Oh, that's
We
great.
like them a lot.
Because once you receive it and you see the final product and if the quality matches the vision and
Yes.
everything else, I'm sure that's such a rewarding.
Oh, big
Oh.
reward,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, how many designs do you have?
So right now, outwise for the company, we have about like 10 designs right now. But we have about another 20 or 30 ready to go, like and hidden within I call it my the money book, as in like for my original ideas,
Yeah.
like when I first started in years and stuff. So we have a lot. I'm set for a while.
Mhm.
So
That's
I'll
good.
keep
So you
on
don't have to
pushing.
keep, you probably keep drawing,
Yes,
don't
yeah.
you?
Definitely. That's another thing is just keeping that passion, that practice to keep on drawing, even if it's something small, something even like I like sometimes drawing, just other things already there, just to practice and get that work in when it comes to detailing and stuff.
Sure.
How did you pick which images you wanted to put on clothing first?
So I sort of wanted to just basically, well, I already had my first collection because I was like, all right, these were ones that I was like, I've been having down already. And then with the brand, I was like, the first collection is everything when it comes to designing. Like, especially if you're dropping a brand, you know, this is something that has to grab people right away and say like, man, this is it.
Uh-huh.
So then I was like, I had my pieces, and then I was like, let me have this first piece as like life, like it's the life collection, you know, and
Okay.
that's sort of.
And that was it.
That was it, and then I grabbed my pieces in and went through with things.
Oh.
So now, can people will put your
Mhm.
your image with your website and everything? So it's basically online, or do you have a storefront
So yeah,
currently, or?
so we're online, and we just got with the marketplace on the beach side.
Uh-huh.
We just got a small spot with them. So
Okay.
we're online, and we have a small store.
So someone can
Yeah.
go in there and buy your
Buy a
piece.
yeah.
Mm.
So
Because for some people, being able to see it,
yeah,
touch
Feel it,
Yeah.
touch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's much easier. So we're going to backtrack just a minute.
Mhm.
So you said when you were in the service, what branch and what did you do?
So I did the National Guard and the Army.
Okay.
Did the National Guard for 6 years in California, and then I wanted to switch over to the active side and went to Fort Bragg. I was a fueler there, and
Okay.
basically just like a mobile gas station. I tell people, I was
Right.
like, that's how I look at it, as just a mobile gas station. So I was a fueler there, worked with mechanics, and I did that for about 4 years, and then medically got out, discharged. But that was a fun experience in Fort Bragg. I think Fort Bragg's a interesting place, but it made me to where at when it comes to certain things, picking up from them, and then obviously with the art, you know, took us to another level. So
Well, good, good. Well, of course, today's Veterans Day, or
Yeah.
tomorrow's Veterans Day, actually. We're celebrating it today. So it's good to have you on the podcast today. So it worked out perfectly.
Perfect.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So where do you see as the next step in your journey here?
So definitely, one of the big things I want to start doing is like start be able to do more podcasts. I think these are fun, and I've never been done one. So my first one, so I very
Oh,
appreciate it.
broke you right in.
Yeah, so
With my little bloopers in the beginning. So.
I like it. I like it. But not like you know, be able to do more podcasts. Be able to one of the big things I want to do is speak to schools, especially high school.
Oh,
The
that's
younger
great.
generation talking about, you know, what this brand's about, because I tell people it's not just about designing, you know, it's like, it's especially if we have a passion for something or whatever you want to do in life, you know, it's just showing people that if you work hard towards it, it's having the discipline, the work ethics to keep working hard, not giving up, and, you know, even when you're tired, to touch with kids like that and be like, man, well, if he can do it, just a normal guy that, you know, kept going and kept going. I was like, there's so much you can do for those young generation to really push them and just go and achieve what they want in life, you know?
That's true, yeah.
So I just want to use this brand as that light to be like, hey, this is what I'm exposing my life, and even nowadays, it's like no one wants to talk about what they went through. And I was like, I'm willing to put myself out there.
Right.
And tell the kids like, hey, no matter, even if people tell you can't do it, just do it. I'm a product of it when it comes to showing you like, hey, I worked years and I'm still working hard, and things are coming together.
And even when you've worked hard for years to get to this point, it still takes a lot of
Still
work.
takes a lot of
Yeah.
work.
And that's a lot of people think once you reach a certain point, well, it's just time to kick back and relax. And actually, that's time to really dig deeper
Dig deeper, yeah.
work harder. Yeah, yeah. So, would you expand past the clothing with your images? Like
So
I'm looking at
yeah.
so many different ways you could put those images on. Like,
Oh yeah, there's more projects I want to do. I actually want to do a book in the future when it comes to showing the design and then explaining what the design means. So it'll be like an adult kid type of thing, so they can see art, but then they can also see
the
why
history.
the brand, like why that design was created. I
That's
think
pretty cool. Yeah.
I think to have something like that, books, and then a lot of I'm very big on like the TED Talks and motivational, like listening to motivational speakers.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can go up and start doing that using the brand, I think that'll be an amazing thing to do too.
So we got them on the beginning.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. I love it.
Don't forget us when you're on the big stage.
Yeah.
When they're being featured in an art gallery of all corrupt images. The journey.
You guys
so-
invited right away. Like, "Look, y'all come."
I think the kid aspect of that is amazing because children need something to look forward to sometimes, and maybe they think that they can't do it, and you can say, hey, I was here, here's where I am now, and I'm still working hard at it. That would be a great inspiration for kids to hear.
Yeah.
So when did you discover your love for art and drawing? And
So I had it when I was a young kid. Even my mom's like, me and my brother, I have my brother, we've always sort of had it, but I would say like it was there, but I'd say this past year and a little bit before that is when I really dug deep and found like, I was like, you know what, man, I can really get something going. And, especially with other people that, like my friend Aristi and them, and the people that have believed in me, even the new people, even with you guys, even Shannon, I'm like, it's cool to have that positive motivation. And then you sort of kind of look back and really dig even deeper,
Yeah.
So I'll say like really digging deep into this art, maybe the last couple of years. I've had it already because I have my book, and I'm like, man, and when you look back and all these art pieces, I'm like,
it's just also a matter of having the courage to kind of follow up on the passion, because a lot of people, there are a lot of things people enjoy, but they don't see how they can make a living from it. So they do a job, and then they don't really, explore the possibilities of actually living their passion. So this case, it didn't just like happen and start from the beginning. It was there and then kind of came to fruition later. So
came to life. But like I said, that too is just not believing, and it's like, and that's the problem. Like I tell people too, it's like, I think it's like sometimes when you feel like you can't do it, it really does push you down, and it really can't put you at a level where it's like, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want other people, judging me or whatever. And I'm like, no, it's like you just gotta do it. I was like, as much as even you're tired or as much as your body's like, man, because there's a high risk in it. Like I tell people, nothing's guaranteed whenever you're trying to build something you're passionate about. But if you're passionate about it, you should never look at the money side of things. I was like, everything else will come along as long as you're passionate about something, as long as you really want that. I was like, you're willing to go and do what it takes.
So did you have skeptics along the way?
I know that there was no guarantees. I knew that because I remember even with the brand, I used to tell people, even in the military, and I've had people be like, whatever, and I know that some people can get discouraged by it because it's like, if other people aren't believing in it, what makes you might not believe in it, but I've always, my parents have always raised me and said, no matter what I want in life, to go for it, no matter if it was even a slight like, oh, it doesn't look like there's no possibilities. I was like, I'll make one.
Right.
And there was skeptics because there's nothing guaranteed in this. But then I always had to look back and say, you know what, I'm passionate about this. Like, this is my baby. This is something that I love. And I know that at the end of the day, like, God will take care of everything. I was like, I'm not going to let nobody, tell me what I can and cannot do.
There you go. And most people that criticize you or, kind of like go against what you want to do sometime
Mm-hmm.
are the same people that have never lived outside their own comfort zone and tried to pursue their own passion.
Yeah.
But they're the best critics of telling
Oh,
you
yeah.
what you can't do. You know, that type thing. And then as a parent, though, with you as watching a son live their or a child live their passion, you know, it's one thing because I've done this with my children. You know, it's like it's great to say you can do anything you want to do, but then when they get older, you're like, oh, do something more secure. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
don't stress me out. Like it never ends. So yeah, but it's fun to see people live their passion and really discover potential. And then even with this, like I was saying, there's so many more opportunities that could come along for you that, you know, this is just the beginning step in that. So.
No, and like I said, I appreciate it too, because it's like you never know, and I truly feel like I finally understand, and I'm understanding now better. Like when the saying that things come in time and they come when they're supposed to, it's really true.
But you didn't stop and wait. You
Oh,
kept
no, I
pushing.
kept going,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You kept pushing forward.
There was days where I'm like, man, I'm not selling nothing, or it's like months and months. It was like, okay, nothing's moving, and even till like to this day, like I'm thankful. Like I tell people, even if you have one shirt from me, I don't care if it's from when I first started or till this day now. I was like, it means the world to me. I was like, I appreciate everything that is done. Like I don't get discouraged. I'm very thankful. Like I said, we have people about like 8 states out of 50 that wear our stuff.
Oh,
And
that's
that's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And then how do you select your models for your
So
campaigns?
like usually we're gonna change that up. I've been trying to get people that really can understand the design. I think because I don't want we're going more towards like it's cool to have like people wear stuff, but if you don't understand the product, you understand what I'm trying to do,
Right.
then it's like if you're just trying to do it for a free item, then it's like we'd rather go with someone that's like, you know what, I truly believe in the
Yep.
product, you know,
Because
because
that confidence is going to portray in their
Yeah.
whole, the way they present your item, the product.
Yes, and
Yeah.
exactly, yeah, especially like with what they do. You know, even the day life is like, you know, sort of making sure it's like with the right people, because it's like you never know. You know, my name's on the line when it comes to the business,
Yeah.
the brand's on the line, and at the end of the day, this company is about art. It is about the design and me creating. So you know, people are buying the design in my art. You want to
So
make
they're
sure
buying a little piece of you.
you're buying a little piece of it, you know,
Right.
and it's you want to have the right models that can represent that truly love the product, you know, because like I said, I want people that if you model for us that you have a story yourself. Because I truly believe, I said, behind every pair of eyes is a story. Everyone has a story, no matter how old you are, no matter, you know, how young, like, everyone has a story in their life. And I'm trying to bring that light out and tell you guys, like, let me tell you my story to inspire you guys to tell your story, you know?
All right. What was your first story that you wanted to share?
Man,
Your
I
first
got
design.
my first design I did, it was about I'll say relationships. It was one of my biggest ones. I drew one and it was reality versus fiction. I called it reality versus fiction. So with the design, I basically talked about how the reality of what a relationship's about, you know, and it's not just about with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It could be with family, with friends, you know. I was like, the reality side of it is that I was never the perfect guy when it comes to relationships. There's things I've done wrong in my life. And I said, when I create something stating that I've done wrong, but I've also done right. And that in relationships, like we're not perfect, you know, and I've, you know, done things wrong, but I've grown as a person to try to be better. And I was like, let me do a design. So I created a half a heart that was bleeding, what an actual heart looks like. And then I had blood on the floor because I'm like, relationships can make you hurt, can make you feel sad, depression. And then I drew an actual like fairy tale heart, like a nice emoji, like the emoji heart. So I sort of put that together as a one heart, one big heart, and I did like tracks on one side and then like nice little emojis on the other side. And I said reality
Kind of
versus
show
fiction.
that, yeah, yeah.
And I said I did that because I was like, the reality side is that relationships can hurt. They can be great, but then they can hurt. They can make you sad. They can make you happy. And I was in the fiction side, we always want to dream that there's a relationship that's always great. You know, like, oh, we're never
Right.
fighting.
And that's not real.
And that's not real. Yeah, like, so in reality, there's relationships aren't perfect. We're gonna go through stuff. And I was like, let me create a design that says that. So I'm pretty sure everybody has a story about relationships,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
So
What do you think your most popular piece has been so far? Is it
So I'll say right now is like our ice cream has been good. So I call it the road to the top. So that one's been popular because of the colors and stuff. But that one just talks about like when it comes to trying to build a business, right? You start from the bottom to the top. So I created the cone as a road, as a checker road, and then the ice cream's like melting because I was like, in life, when you're trying to build something, you're gonna have so many slips and slopes that it's not gonna always be perfect.
good analogy?
I love all the stories that come with the art.
Right.
You know, it's not just slap
a
that piece.
picture.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love all the stories that come with it.
Yeah.
So is there a little, like when you buy something, do they get the little
Good
story?
idea.
So that's something that I want to do next.
Okay.
So I mean, right now, I want to work on videos that I do have some on TikTok, but we have them on the archive right now. But like that talk about what the designs mean. But I want to get more into detail with those and down the road and see what we can do with that, because that's what's people want to hear is a story.
Right.
Yeah, even if you have a little card you put in.
That just explained it.
Yeah.
And then maybe even on the other side, say, tell us your story. It may be selected for a piece of art.
True.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's good, yeah.
Because everybody has
You get
a story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I would love to buy a piece that I know the story and be like, you know what this means?
Yeah, that's a good way to portray that. That's awesome. Yeah. So I can see where you could be in like a art gallery one day doing your exhibition and have the art and then the
A little story.
Another piece.
yeah.
Well, yeah, there's more. I mean, like you said, this having a brand can open a lot of windows, and like you said, it's just at work. But I just talked to my mom on the way over here too, and I was like, I truly feel with this brand. I was like, it's like when you have that gut feeling, it's like you just know. I was like, I just know that this is what I'm here for, and like I can see this brand bringing light to so many people, and just bringing them out of that funk and being like, hey, because like I tell people, I just want to be that guy that even if it's one person at a time, just say, hey, I'm willing to be there and expose myself to bring just that light out of you, because this the way things are nowadays. I think we all need light. We all need,
Oh, absolutely.
some happy, some positivity in
Right.
this world, and I was like, if I can turn my negatives into a positive, and we're all human beings, so we all go through stuff. So I was like, why not? I think it's a perfect brand to create something like that, and to have
That's true. Yeah. That's good because I didn't understand the stories behind your images. I mean, this looks cool and starting the new company, but that's really makes me more intrigued now because I like things that have meaning and a purpose, and so that's awesome.
I appreciate that.
So then, what say in the next 5 years, if you could accomplish anything you could possibly accomplish, what would it be?
It will be probably a bigger store, probably a bigger storefront, probably a little bit bigger space. Be able to already start speaking to schools and stuff. And then one of my biggest things is probably in 5 years, try to get a shoe deal. I've always wanted to work with Vans.
With Vans.
Yeah, Vans. I'm a big Vans guy.
So you put your images
on the shoes because I know they do a lot of collaboration with like shoes of art and stuff. So that'd be really cool to have a shoe with them.
Interesting. Yeah.
With my art pieces.
Vans, you express yourself with Vans,
so I think it'll be perfect.
I think that's a great fit.
So
think about that. So that's interesting. Yeah.
And then the book, and then by then I should have my book out when it comes to the design and have my second collection out. So I'm doing everything by section. So I also have my own characters, which is cool.
Your own character?
Yeah.
Like I
have my own little family. So I've created. Shout out to Inside Out that inspired me with that one.
Okay.
I like the concept how they created characters, and I was like, why can't me as a person create? So I have characters based on me, obviously. So they're like my little character, my little symbols. So it's on like money. I have one called corruption, happiness, confusion, and then I have other characters that are just more for fun. But I want to create a corrupt images family, but they're all my little characters, and they all sort of come out of my brain. So they're already established, but I'm like, I think Inside Out, I was like, that's so cool to have that concept of having little symbols that symbolize you.
You could even have a young little cartoon or
the anime,
animated show one day with all your corrupt image characters going after it. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. If I can get something like that, that'd be awesome.
I see big things in your future. Yeah. Absolutely.
That was something I definitely had not thought of. So that's interesting how that would work out. So, I'm intrigued to know more, so I'm definitely going to do my research for sure. But how would people contact you or find out more about it? If you'll just tell people where to go to, and we'll have all your images up here soon. And
Okay, perfect. Well, you guys can go on the website at www.kuruptimages.com. We have a lot of pieces there. We also have Instagram, which is the @kurupt_images_clothing. Our business email, which is the info@kuruptimages.com. And then we have also our TikTok, and that will be at Kurupt Images. And you can find it right away. So those are the place, and if you're local in Panama City, then you can go to the Marketplace by TGH on Panama City Beachside.
So let me ask you about TikTok. You enjoy doing the TikTok?
So I just hired someone with that. I'm not a social media person, but I'm a big artist. So
Yeah.
I hired someone to run my social media.
Well, for that, you definitely need that. People are like, you need to do TikTok. I'm like, I'm too old for
it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It is a lot.
Yeah,
well, trying to keep up with social media is about a full-time job in itself. So yeah.
I just pay someone for that. I'm like, I'm good.
All right. Well, good deal. Andrew, thanks for being with us today. We really appreciate it. And be sure to check him out at kuruptimages.com and learn more. And so that wraps up our episode of Luxe Life Discovered, and we will see you soon. Our podcast series this week is sponsored by Brador Skincare Company. We have the owner, Bradley Azell, with us. So we're just going to ask Bradley some questions to help learn more about this product. So one thing I've noticed, what is one of your mission statements for your company?
Yeah. So one of our mission statements is, we believe a fulfilling life is where a man chooses to live and not just exist. And I pulled that from a great, the idea of that came from an old English poet called Jack London. And so that's one of the ideas behind it. We believe that a man's life is best lived when he's in the pursuit of a compelling mission, goal, or passion. And to kind of bring that back to Brador, our passion is, making men feel more confident and better looking with our products.
Okay. And then do you have any Black Friday specials coming up that you'd like to promote?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have a Black Friday sale going on for 48 hours, starting on Black Friday, promo code Black Friday 25, use that at checkout. And would love your support there.
Okay. And what if someone's watching the podcast? Is there a code for them to get a discount?
Yeah. So being a part of the podcast today, any Luxe Life listener can have, we'll keep a code going at all times, but Luxe Life 10. So obviously you want to take advantage of the Black Friday sale, but in the future, any customer, so LUXE Life 10. So anytime you want to use that after Black Friday, you can get 10% off your order.
All right, awesome. So again, tell us about your product and why a man should use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So our key product right now is our men's anti-aging face serum. So it's a great product to make you look more youthful, feel more confident when you wake up in the morning. And it's something that you can apply. It's very easy to apply. You can apply it morning or night. I prefer to apply it at night and let it do all of its magic during the evening. And what it will do is over time help fade some of those wrinkles that will happen with aging or other signs of aging, and then improve your looks. And what I love about it is I feel more confident.
Okay, confidence, self-improvement, and achieving and being your best while you're looking good. That's
right.
Check out Luxe Life Discovered on Facebook and Instagram and on 30a.tv. See you next time on Luxe Life Discovered.